My name is Gabrielle Gravatt, and today I'm going to be speaking with you about sexual assault on college campuses, but more importantly, how are schools addressing this problem? So first, I want you to think back to your first few weeks of college. How are you feeling? What are the things that you did to integrate yourself into this new culture that you had not been a part of before? I know that a lot of us here are not in a traditional college setting, nor have we been before, but just think about different ways that you were trying to fit in. I know some people join clubs, some people meet friends on the internet and try and integrate themselves into those kind of groups, and some people party and do drugs and drink. And what colleges call this first chunk of time that a person is starting school, they call it the red zone. And the red zone denotes the beginning of freshman year through November of the first semester. And what this time means is that is the riskiest time on campus for people, but especially young women, for being sexually assaulted. Now, Bill Flack, who is an associate professor of psychology at Bucknell University in Pennsylvania, wanted to find out if the red zone is a real thing. And if so, what are colleges doing in order to address it? So he conducted a study with two major universities, and what he found is that the winter term is actually the most increased risk of sexual assault on college campus. And the reason for this is that there are a lot more people who are sticking around, they have less responsibilities, less classwork to do, and in turn there's a lot more drinking, a lot more drugs, and a lot more partying. He also found that the second year is actually a higher risk than the first year, and the reason for that is this is the time when students are rushing Greek life, and so they are going to mixers and different parties in order to integrate themselves into that culture. But overall, what he really found is that the risk is constantly present. There's never a time when it is not a risk to be a student on a college campus and experience sexual assault. So what I wanted to look into next is how are schools addressing this problem? As risks have increased over the years, the White House really got kind of concerned under the Obama administration. Why is the amount of sexual assault on college campuses increasing in recent years? And so what they did is, under the Department of Education, they began an investigation into 100 different colleges and universities. And what they were looking for is Title IX violations. Now, Title IX addresses sexual harassment, sexual violence, or any gender-based discrimination that may deny a person access to educational benefits and opportunities. So if they found a violation under Title IX, then that would give them the ability to intervene in these schools. But mostly what this did was allow them to collect a lot of data about campus assault, and it scared a lot of schools into action. So this started a trend of more in-depth sexual assault prevention training to incoming freshmen. A lot of schools wanted to take it even a step further and not just do training at the beginning of their freshman year, but turn it into a whole event. So for example, UC Santa Cruz decided to start Consent Week, which is every April on their campus, and it's a dedicated week to discuss all of the problems around campus assault, reporting, resources for victims. You know, they wanted to make sure that people are really well versed on what is consent, what is sexual assault, what do you do if you're in this situation, and how can we help you after this. Another school decided to not let their students take this course only once, but they wanted to really pound it into their brain. So Dartmouth required a refresher course at the beginning of every year in order for you to register for your classes. You have to take a refresher course in sexual assault prevention. And a lot more schools were really illuminating the importance of consent and teaching their students, this is what consent means, this is what consent is, and this is what consent is not. Now, I really wanted to know, due to all these great programs, it all sounds so great, but has anything changed? So there is a lot more prevention programs, but there's still not enough for those who are dealing with the aftermath. The Campus Accountability and Safety Act went to Congress floor twice, but died before it even went into action, and this would have required schools to have more training for students. And at this point, schools aren't even required to provide counseling. and they are not required to cooperate with law enforcement in investigations. And mostly not all prevention programs are created equal. Some schools are taking a lot more action than others, but some prevention programs are just too short, 30 minutes or less, and the students see them once and then they never have to see it again. What I would like to see change out of all of this is more awareness for this and more response from the schools. Thank you for listening.